Hi, my name's Leslie. I am a sickle cell warrior. And I think World Sickle Cell Day is important for all of us because for far too long, sickle cell has been ignored as a disease and underfunded worldwide. And any attention we can get to help patients and caregivers is good attention. Um, I'm going to celebrate World Sickle Cell Day by advocating for myself and others and continuing to spread the word that we are human when we seek medical care. We are worthy of funding and attention, and that we are survivors. We can do anything with our lives. We don't have any sort of determination just because we have sickle cell disease, we can't do anything.
My name is Maurice Riddle. Um, I have sickle cell SC, and I believe World Sickle Cell Awareness Day is important to me and important to the world, really, because people need to know more about sickle cell and understand that it's out there, it's a real condition, and it can affect anybody at any time.
My name is Eric Kirkwood. I have sickle cell disease, SS, and I'm 63 years old. Um, I I believe that World Sickle Cell Day is important because I don't think enough people in the community know about sickle cell or and don't know the trait status. So I think it needs to be a World Sickle Cell Day. It needs to be brought attention to so that people can donate to their favorite sickle cell organization. Mine is the Earl E. Owens Sickle Cell Disease Association of the Midwest. And also to be aware of your trait status and be sympathetic towards people who have sickle cell disease, who go through a lot of um, pain and difficulty dealing with the disease. There's no other disease quite like it. It's not one of those diseases that is a lifestyle disease like, say, diabetes or cancer. You don't catch it or develop it. It's genetic, which makes it unique. So that's why I think that World Sickle Cell Day is important. That's why it's important to me. Um, I celebrate World Sickle Cell Day just by being mindful of sickle cell and trying to volunteer on that day when I have an opportunity to with our local sickle cell organization or to do interviews like this or be able to speak out in some kind of way. I'm wearing my t-shirt, sickle cell t-shirt too. So I try to recognize it and uh, every year since they've been having it. So that's how I celebrate it.
Hi, my name is Sharif Tusubida. I'm a sickle cell advocate and a person living with sickle cell. I'm originally from Kampala, Uganda, but I'm now based in Kansas City with the World Owens Sickle Cell Disease Association of the Midwest. I do feel that World Sickle Cell Day is important because it's a day when we get to celebrate the lives of those that we have lost to sickle cell, but also go on to celebrate the lives of everyone who has sickle cell disease. And I think one of the key issues we still have out there is to be able to address the awareness and stigma that does surround living with sickle cell. So sadly speaking, sickle cell was the first genetic disease that was diagnosed. But 100 years on, I think we still haven't yet caught up with the need for what has to be done. And I do believe that having World Sickle Cell Day is an issue. Having World Sickle Cell Day is where we can be able to having World Sickle Cell Day is where we can be able to celebrate and be able to understand and talk about the disease, but also be able to talk about the lives of people that are being affected by sickle cell. How do they live, and what can we do to make their lives better? And on the same note, I do feel that having World Sickle Cell Day is a time for policymakers, stakeholders, and everyone who's concerned about sickle cell to come together and be able to see what are you doing to make a difference in the life of everyone who has sickle cell disease, and what are you doing to make sure that we have a sickle cell free generation. Because I think that's the ultimate aim we have, all of us, to be able to promote a world where we reduce sickle cell to a minimum, where people who are living sickle cell can be able to achieve their lives to the maximum, can be able to live to their best potential. But being able to get there will definitely need a concerted effort. this effort from policymakers, from parents, from advocates, from community makers, from everyone there, from the effort would need to come from everyone out there who has a heart for having chronic illness, and particularly who have sickle cell disease. So to me, I do feel that World Sickle Cell Day is definitely important, because this is when we get to talk about sickle cell. Because most of the time, sickle cell has not been on the front line. It's not what we talk about all the day, apart from if you're an advocate, if you're someone who's affected, then you could talk about this every day. But for so many other people out there, World Sickle Cell Day is often the time when they get to hear what sickle cell is and what they can do to make a difference in the lives of those who have sickle cell disease.
Hi, my name is Jamila Williams, and I am a sickle cell warrior, SS, as well as a sickle cell patient advocate. I'm a board member of Urea, EO, and Sickle Cell Disease Association of the Midwest here in Kansas. And I am also a part of several other organizations, as well as a Sick Cells ambassador. I started being a sickle cell advocate, I guess, at a young age, when my mom pushed me to be more proactive in my sickle cell appointments. As a child, I was incredibly shy, and I still pretty much am. But I came out of my box a lot more when I started to speak up for myself at appointments, advocate, pay close attention to my physical health. I started learning a lot more about sickle cell as I got older, and even went to our sickle cell camp here at Children's Mercy Hospital as a camp counselor. And through the years, I saw sickle cell just being neglected more and more, and I was frustrated with the lack of information about sickle cell on the public news, as well as, you know, any news format. I wasn't seeing sickle cell unless I was seeing sickle cell in a negative light. So that was one of the things that prompted me to go on social media, be more vocal about sickle cell and advocate, as well as, unfortunately, the death of two close friends. So I was prompted by that, and the fact that I also started to have clinical depression due to the death of my friends. So I wanted to advocate about sickle cell mental health as much as I could, just to let people know, even though you have sickle cell, you are not alone. There's someone out there that feels exactly the same way as you do. World Sickle Cell Day, what it means to me is awareness, unity, visibility, and education. I don't think there are many people who know a lot about sickle cell. The most they maybe know is, oh yeah, I have a friend who has sickle cell. I have a cousin. I knew someone who has sickle cell. The most common phrase we hear is, oh yeah, I knew such and such, she died from sickle cell. And that's not the first thing you want to hear when you think of sickle cell, especially if it's something that's affecting you, your family, and loved ones. So World Sickle Cell Day is just something to let the whole world know that we have sickle cell. This is what it is, and we're here. As much as people think that, you know, with sickle cell, it is just automatically a death sentence, it's not. We are sickle cell warriors simply because the way we live it's a lot on us, but we still endure and we still persevere. And as I like to say, we are brave, resilient, and unbreakable as sickle cell patients, sickle cell warriors. So sickle cell is a chance to educate people about what sickle cell is, not just that it involves pain, but it involves fatigue. There's so many other things that are involved with sickle cell. And people need to know that organ damage, silent damage, the daily struggles we go through, it's a chance for sickle cell warriors like me to speak up, speak out, and just educate the world about sickle cell, advocate about it, and just let everyone know what sickle cell disease truly is. Dispel the misconceptions that it only occurs in Black Americans, which it does not. Anyone can have sickle cell disease. So it's very important to be tested for sickle cell, the sickle cell trait, sickle cell disease. It is not something that you want to go in having and be uneducated about. Just because it doesn't affect a family member, a loved one, a friend, we need to know about this and unite to eradicate this serious disease. It's important that, you know, we as a community, sickle cell community, communities of color, and other communities all join together and discuss sickle cell in an educational, uplifting way, but also talk about the negative effects of sickle cell, because that's a very real part of our life. But we also don't want to dwell on the negativity as they sometimes do in the news. It's important to advocate for younger warriors and older warriors as well, because so many of us were told that we wouldn't even make it to 5, 10, 21, 40. And I am 42 years old and very proud of it. So World Sickle Cell Day it means a lot to me and so many other warriors. Like I said, awareness, education, unity, and visibility of sickle cell warriors. So what I am going to do on World Sickle Cell Day is one of the things I'm going to do is join in the 24-hour sickle cell-a-thon on Zoom with Cayenne Wellness and Sickle Cell Consortium.
Finally, I'd like to recognize Kevin Wake and Jamila Williams from the Uriel Owen Sickle Cell Disease Association of Missouri, of the Midwest, for their tireless efforts to advocate on behalf of sickle cell patients and caregivers all over this world. Myself included, they have been friends and they are true advocates in the space, so I'd like to highlight them.
Two people that I would like to recognize for World Sickle Cell Day are my friends that passed away, Christopher Gaston and Devin Anderson. They were two really amazing guys with really amazing families. And at Sickle Cell Camp is where I met both of them, and the children just gravitated towards both of them. Chris was just a really funny guy who made everybody laugh and everybody smile, because he always had this big, beautiful smile. So that's what I remember the most about him. And Devin, he really didn't let anything about sickle cell get in his way, and he just pushed through and, you know, made his way in the world. And he was just a great person to be around. So that's what I remember about Chris and Devin. And I know their families, as well as I am still missing them today.
People that I would like to recognize for World Sickle Cell Day, and that would have to be my mother, other people in my family that helped me along the way. My uncle Uriel was a big influence on me. He had sickle cell. He passed away in 1980. And Dr. Samir Balaz was another person who, he was out of Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. I met him at, well, actually, I met him at several different sickle cell conferences. And he was highly published doctor. He was just an all-around good person. I didn't know him well, but he did make an impression on me.
I would like to give a shout out to the University Health Sickle Cell Clinic. They do tremendous amounts of efforts towards providing information and treating those with sickle cell. And for Sickle Cell World Sickle Cell Day, I just want to spend as much time as possible with my family.